So welcome back everyone, Mike here. I just got home from work a little bit ago and it's a beautiful evening here in Pennsylvania. The weather is much nicer than what we had earlier this week. Now all that rain and flooding, it kind of tore things up around here, so this evening I put the box blade on the RK55 and I'm going to work on my driveway a little bit. It's not too bad, and the first section of trail here from the house that goes down to the pond. Now I've done several videos in the past between the box blade and the land plane, and the question still gets asked, you know, if I had to choose just one, which would it get? So tonight we're going to kind of address that and I'll give you my opinion. I think I have a pretty good answer. But first I'll show you what I got going on here, what I got to get fixed, and we'll go from there. So this isn't too bad, but I'm telling you, the other night, the whole parking area, everything was all water. It found its way down the driveway here, and you can start to see this little erosion channel here starts to form. And there's one on the other side as well. And there's just so much volume of water, it just takes this stone all to the bottom. Now I had some 2A limestone on here, which works really well. And sometimes what happens when it rains a bunch like that and you get those heavy washes, it kind of washes the fines out of it as well. So what I want to do here this evening, all that rock is down at the bottom. I'm going to bring it back up here, fill in these ruts, kind of just roll it in a little bit with the tires, and it should work out all right for now. Then maybe down the road, once it kind of gets hard again, I'll probably hit it with the land plane, but this won't take long at all. Now, the reason I decided to use the box blade tonight instead of the land plane is this. I need to bring a bunch of stone from the bottom of the driveway up the hill. The box blade carries more material in it than the land plane will. Land plane kind of does the same thing, but not as much. So in other words, it'll be less trips, a little bit easier with the box blade, just getting that stone up the hill. Now, before I get started, I'm going to take these rippers off. Now, you can adjust your box blade, tilt it out where, boy, that was tough. You can tilt it out so they're just barely touching, but I don't want them to touch at all, to tell you the truth. And the reason is, all this material is loose. I don't have anything that needs ripped up or anything like that, so I'm just going to take them off completely, and I'll put them back on when I'm done. Alright, I got the rippers off. Now, I'm going to leave the box blade level. I'm not going to tilt it one way or another for the first couple passes. All I want to do is bring some material up the driveway. Once I get it up, get it kind of roughed in, then I will adjust it one way, then the other way. We'll put kind of a little crown in it. Alright, as you can see, I brought a lot of stone from the whole way down at the bottom up here. And it's a good mix. There's some fines in it, a little bit coarser stuff right here. Should work out pretty good. Now I had the box blade sitting level, but the way I did it, I brought all that material up in the center first and kind of made that a little bit higher. And then when you run off to the side, you're already leaning just a little bit, putting the slightest bit of crown to it. Now I'm going to turn the tractor around and go back down, but I'm going to adjust that box blade just the slightest bit to the left, slightest bit to the right, fill in the rest of those ruts right down there on both sides, and then I will roll it in real good, and it should work out pretty well. Alright, now I'm going to tilt the right side down just a little bit. Alright, I have the left side really close. The outside edge near the grass is probably about 4 inches lower than the center. Now I adjusted the box blade to tilt to the right just a wee little bit, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So the box blade helped me do exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring all that stone that washed down to the bottom back up here to the top, fill in the ruts, you know, reestablish a little bit of crown to it, and also get a nice mix of stone. You want the coarser stuff, the finer stuff. It'll help pack it in. Now remember, just a little bit ago I was adjusting that box blade, tilted to the left some, then tilted it to the right. Something to keep in mind, if your center's already high and your driveway's wide enough, you know, you can just run one tire on the center, and if the tractor's already leaning to the outside a little bit, you don't even have to worry about tilting that box blade at all, because if the tractor's already leaning, you're going to maintain that crown the whole way down. Worked out pretty well. Now, as far as my opinion on what's better between a box blade or a land plane, it really depends on what you're after, but a good way to think about it is this. If you're familiar with construction equipment, a box blade is kind of like a dozer, a land plane is kind of like a grader. Both the grader and the dozer, you know, you can push dirt, level things out, cut grade, things like that. But the grader is going to do a little bit better job on the finish than a dozer would. That's why you see them, you know, cut and finish grade on highway projects and things like that with a grader, not a dozer. But, you know, you can use a dozer for doing the same thing. You're not going to get quite the finish, but you can carry more material with the dozer. So that's a good way to look at it. You know, carry more material with the box blade, better finish with the land plane. That's kind of the way I see it. Oh, a couple things I want to mention before I forget. Check this out. Split happens, get it? We got stickers, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, whole bunch of stuff. And next week, I will share the link to our new website. It should be up and running there by the end of next week. We have all sorts of stuff like this if anybody's interested in that. And also, a week from today, Friday, June 7th, you'll see this video on Saturday, but on June 7th, Friday evening, Melissa and I will be at the Bantam Jeep Festival in Butler, Pennsylvania. We'll be at the Jeep Invasion, parked right on Main Street. We'll get real specific on where we're going to be exactly, because we don't know yet that day, and we'll post that probably on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So if anyone's coming to that and wants to meet up, we'd love to meet you. Let us know in the comments if you think you're coming. That would be really cool. But anyway, I think that's about it for today's video. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and like I always say, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like button, click subscribe, and share them with your friends. Thanks.